Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades. Today we're going to be talking about, are we about to see history? We're going to talk about the SPY. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about altcoins, and of course a whole bunch more. But before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people. And of course, if you're new, smash the subscribe button and you'll get these daily updates. Sorry, there's no video again today. I'm away from my usual location, and thank you for being patient with me there. However, let's jump right into some of the news that we have here. And of course, the S&P 500 has gained in July for an incredible 10 years in a row. One more, and it ties the longest win streak ever. I want to know your comments. Are we about to see a green July? Are we about to see a green July? Are we going to see 10 years in a row? Has gained in 10 years in a row. One more and it ties, so it'll be 11 years in a row. So we last saw that way back, look, it was around the 50s and early 60s that we saw that there happen, where we got 11 years in a row. So it hasn't happened for around, looks like it, 70 odd years there. So I want to know your thoughts. Are we going to see 11, or are we going to get stuck at 10? I want to hear your thoughts there. Are you bullish there? Now, of course, there wasn't all the best news, of course. There was, I'll jump to that in a moment. May PCE inflation, the Fed's preferred inflation measure, rises to 2.3%, in line with expectations. However, core PCE inflation rises above expectations. PCE inflation is now rising for the first time since February of this year. The Fed pause will continue, according to the KBC letter. And it's not as though the Fed needs any motivation to keep rates as they are. They've been very hawkish about raising rates there. And so we are seeing a little bit of a pause, pullback in the stock market today. It'll be interesting to see how the market absorbs that news and what we see moving into July, of course. Okay, and let's have a quick look at the SPY. And what we saw was a new all-time high with the SPY, of course. Now, I talked yesterday about a possible inverse head and shoulders pattern there. I'm sure a lot of people are going to call that a right shoulder, and it could technically, you could say, a right shoulder there. And the technical target to the upside, that's quite a whopping move there for the SPY, which would bring us up to about 723. That would be quite some move there. But we'll see how this plays out. Are we going to get a little bit of a pullback? So far, we're holding strong on the SPY, but some individual stocks have a little bit of a pause or a pullback, like Palantir, for example, there. So that's what I'll be looking for as far as the SPY goes. And we haven't had any sell signal yet on the Tribal Trades indicator. We've got that buy signal all the way down there. So I'm still holding my weekly time frame SPY position from all the way back in April. This has played out now for many weeks, actually a couple of months now. This has continued to go. So we see no sign yet of any kind of a reversal, but I will update if we see a reversal there and if I look to exit that position on the SPY. But at the moment, there is no red dot, and so there is no reason for me yet to get out. And you can see these red dot and red arrows would have been perfect time to exit, which I did. I exited all of my stock positions apart from Tesla, and then I bought it all back down the bottom and more. And of course, the SPY has been going fantastic. Let's jump very quickly over to Bitcoin and let's see what Bitcoin charts are doing here. Something very interesting, of course, with Bitcoin is I don't know if I've seen, I would have to go back in Bitcoin's history and see if I've seen this quite like this before. We've seen the 9 go below the 20, back again, and back again. This is incredible chop. And what we have now is a range. So you can say trend, what's the trend? Well, the trend is shifting every week, it seems. There's a downtrend, an uptrend, a downtrend, an uptrend, but it's more, for me, this is a range. This is range, classic range trading from the $100,000 level up to around the $110,000 level, with the middle of the range being right here. Just happens to be where the 50-day moving averages and the 9 EMA, crucial areas of the middle of the range. And with range trading, you can get in the middle of the range, bottom of the range, and get out the top, get in at or around the bottom again, and then get up around the top. Or sometimes you get rejected at the middle, and other times when it comes back to the middle, if a middle holds, you can then ride it back to the top like that. And that's classic range trading. I've got a video on that actually that I've done where I break it down in great detail. But let's talk again about the 9 EMA being above the 20 EMA. And of course, the 9 EMA will continue to move away from the 20 EMA while price is above the 9 EMA. And that's happening right now. So this is the line in the sand that we have to hold for this trade. Of course, as simple as you make it right now, I don't have any long-term position. As you know, I did a video back at the end of May where I exit my long-term, but I'm trading in and out of crypto very easily and very comfortably. You can see here, you can get in a position, you can get out of position. The signals give me the beautiful entry here. And these trades only last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, and then out again. And then this trade to the downside lasted a few days. There was a quick reversal there for about 3 or 4 days. And then to the downside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can take a short to the downside. So you can go long, short, long, short. Money can be made both to the upside and the downside. And this is the latest trade that I took, that I shared about on YouTube in the Discord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. We are in overbought territory now. So if we do get a yellow triangle or red dot, that might be time to get out of the trade there, and we'll see how that shakes out. Now, historically, July is quite bullish for crypto, particularly for altcoins. That's usually when we see altcoins begin to take off. Now, when I say July, it doesn't necessarily mean the 1st of July. It could be the 10th, it could be the 15th, the 20th. It could even be right near the end of July, but historically, July is a bullish month, and so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out there. However, if you look on the weekly time frame, there still is no play there for Bitcoin. There is an inverse head and shoulders, which I have shared about, which has a technical target to the upside of around 140,000. Of course, we'll need to make a new all-time high and hold above that level for that to become validated. But again, we're still in a sell signal there. Here's the buy signal back here, and then the sell signal is back here. There's the sell signal again on the weekly time frame. That's why I have multiple portfolios where I'm trading in and out. I have a weekly time frame portfolio, daily time frame portfolio, and a shorter 1 hour, 15-minute time frame portfolio as well here. So you can actually see there's a bit of an inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, right shoulder that's forming, and a head. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do break above here. 113,000 would be the big level there, and that could be a nice entry to ride that up to the technical target. There is about 140,000 if that was to play out there to that technical target. So that's what I'm looking for at Bitcoin. And of course, on the daily time frame, I'm just looking for that to hold above the 9 EMA. So what's my line in the sand is the 9 EMA. However, if I get that red dot, then I would look at exiting that current Bitcoin position that I have, or the 9 EMA, whichever one of those were to come first. If we get a close below that, that could be quite bearish. Just in the short term, remember these plays 1, 2, 3 on the daily time frame, they usually take about a week to play out, and we are getting up. Sometimes I see them go a bit longer, 9 or 10 days. So we'll see what happens there. Now, I wanted to look at the altcoin market as promised here. And of course, as you see, again, this is just really what I love about this structure here, is that we've got clarity. And right now, it's below the 9 EMA on the daily. That's bearish, okay? Whenever we've seen it below the 9 EMA on the daily, or the 9 cross below the 20, and then we crossed over here and look at the capitulation to the downside. So whenever we've crossed below, we see downside. Whenever the 9 EMA crosses to the upside, we get great moves to the upside. Again, when it crosses to the upside. At the moment, we crossed the downside back on the 12th of June, and we haven't been able to cross back to the upside. To do that, we have to get back above, the altcoin market has to get back above the 9 EMA on the daily, and then that will move the 9 above the 20. And so we might have bottomed out here. Now, interesting enough here, as you can see, the tribal trades indicator, one indicator to rule them all. And by the way, if you do want to get access to this indicator, I will show you in just a moment how to get access to the indicator. But just simply, you buy altcoins here, you sell them here, you buy them here, you sell them here. And this was actually a nice little move to the upside for those that caught it. It was a sudden move there, but even better on the weekly time frame. Really, you can see there that if this is what I really, really like going on, as with the SPY. You buy your altcoins there at the beginning of April and then cashing out like I did at the end of May, and then still waiting to get back in. Remember, I'm in and out of altcoins on the daily and the hourly time frame. But on the weekly time frame, anything for more of a longer push. Because as you can see, this push here, this lasted 1, 2, 3, about 6, 7 weeks there, but it lasted some nice upside before we got that reversal there for the altcoins. And we've been having some great plays in the Tribal Trades Discord there. And this is where I wanted to share you how to get access to the Tribal Trades indicator. It's tied to the Tribal Trades Discord. So if you sign up and pay for the Tribal Trades Discord, you get the Tribal Trades indicator. It comes with the Discord. If you're a member of Discord, you get the Tribal Trades indicator. If you're not a member, then you don't get the Tribal Trades indicator. There's a link below in the description. You click the more button, that will pop out, and you'll be able to, there's where you can access the Tribal Trades Discord there. Absolutely fantastic. But I love this here. April Parker crushing again. You are the man. Thank you. A great trade on Oscar. This is one of my stock plays. I get up very early every morning to give these stock plays out to the community in the pre-market. I am giving stock plays out during the day. So if you're not getting up super early in the morning and you want other stock plays, I do share them also throughout the day when I do see them get triggered. But we do have these ones that I love to get in the pre-market before market opens at 9:30. And of course, great trade there for April. There, great job. And just some other great play. Again, Donut, the Thunder from Down Under, has switched from the leverage crypto to stocks there, and he's taking the stock plays, and he is down under. And so, of course, he's staying up pretty late, waiting for, he forces me to get up super early. He doesn't force me, but I like getting up early, and I love getting up these plays to the community so he can catch these plays. Absolutely crushed it there with a trade on NVIDIA that I had given. Also here, I love this. Tribal Trades indicators help me to choose stocks to buy. June 16, today I'm up $900. So absolutely fantastic using the indicator. There's another couple of trades from Donut, absolutely smashing it there. And then I do love this one from Rowdy. I love the names. We've got Donut, we've got Rowdy, we got Crowbar. Thanks, Tribal Trader. First trade did using your trade signals. I made enough to cover my first month. The second trade I did, I made enough to pay for 2 years. The Discord pays for itself. They're absolutely crushing it with the trades. And again, a win for Amazon, and then some more great wins there. They just keep stacking up there. So that's how you can be part of the Tribal Trades Discord there. Absolutely fantastic. All the stocks plays that were given. These were some of the ones that people were referencing from the other day. And just some amazing trades in there. Even the TQQQ one that we took in the live session on Wednesday, absolutely cooked. The Amazon trade did well also, and a bunch of other trades from the other day that did fantastically well there. So that's what we have in the markets right now. I would say one concern I do have, as you can see here, I think it should be pretty obvious. We've got a shoulder on the left, we've got a head, and we've got a right shoulder. Now, these don't have to play out. The neckline is going to be somewhere around about, let's have a look here. The neckline probably is going to be around about 1 trillion. And so in saying all of this, this is why it looks like, and this is why I cleared out all of my crypto holdings. There's the red dot. It has not really failed, guys. If you look here, I don't see it. Just when you see the red dot, it's time to get out on the weekly. And when you see the green dot, it's time to get into the market. So there is, it's funny that Bitcoin has an inverse head and shoulders on the weekly, and the altcoin market is looking quite bearish at the moment. But like I said, again, it will all come down to, can it break back above the 9 EMA on the daily time frame? That is the key right there. And you can see while we're under it just there, it's under it just at the moment. That's what we need to get back above. We want to see that that head and shoulders on the weekly invalidate. I don't even want to measure that out to know what that could drop to if that falls through the floor. I'm tending to lean towards a bullish July for altcoins at some point. I do think altcoins can have another run. Again, I would say I'm out of altcoins for the longer term, but I am taking those trades in and out during the day, and also, on the daily time frame, getting in and then getting out 4, 5, 6 days later, as the indicator does show for me. And this probably has been a good time to exit all the altcoins anyway. When you come up and reject against the 9 EMA on the daily, sometimes I don't need to wait for the red dot to appear. Sometimes it's just time to exit the trade and get out in profit, or stop out in profit on those trades. And I have done on many of those trades already, the altcoins. All right, well, that's all I have time for today. As always, until the next episode, or until I see you on the Discord, happy trading.